Hello and welcome to the Realistic Division. This is Season 2 and we'll be starting off the new season in Australia, Melbourne. We currently have one car out on track at the moment and it's light rain by the looks of it. Let's get on board with Lewis, who I think is just ahead of Ash. Not a problem, not a problem. Welcome in everyone. Get in here, get comfy. And hopefully we have some nice league racing for you guys to watch. Let's see if we can try and gather us some information on whether this race is going to be wet or not. Hard to tell at the moment. I'm trying to have a look on here. At the same time, we are trying to use a new league tool, which should give us some nice information. Oh, this is bugged out a little bit here. Sorry, right, let's get into this then. Lewis, I'm just coming across the line with Ash, set a lap, yes he did, a 1:27.0 is the benchmark time at the moment. Andrea's going a second slower there, with a 1:28.0. Who's going to be next across the line? Looking like LFC. tool is so good, but it's just like throat for picking up people's names. NFC did get a 127.5. 6. Very close to Ironland's time. It was 1600th of a second quicker. As we do have Spoonie coming around the final corner now. Decent little stable exit there. Comes across the line with a 127.1. Puts himself on the front row of the grid for now. Is Ash going to be boxing here? No, he stays out. Looking to try and improve his time. Coming around the final corner. Putting everything he can into that car. Coming down the straight. Can he get a better time? Yes, he can. A 126.9. 06 for Ash right now. And go on board with Andreas, who comes across the line, goes 7 tenths quicker. Pops himself into P4. Kai coming across the line, goes P2 for now. Knocking Apollo down to P3. Sudden little time there from Kai in his first lap out. Track conditions improving. The racing line getting clearer and clearer as the track evolves. Looks like Raven about to come. Oh, it's like his hot lap now. Team validates his last lap. Must have done it midway through. His ERS is low. Is that Spoonie getting prepared for another lap? Yeah, it is. Spoonie's setting himself up for the next lap after charging his battery. Is this Lewis coming up to the final corner? Yeah, it is. Getting ready to get on for another lap. And Ash is boxing. Ooh, big collision there by Spoonie. And he's out of the session. Spoonie out of the session so early on before the track can evolve even further. Raven setting the quickest time for now, 126.762. Gets the better of his teammate, but that is Reese in the wall in the Aston line. Only setting one lap with a 127.6, but can't go any quicker. Ooh, big collision that. Must have had a bit of a snap on the rear. Load shedding and some tea and GP, not bad for a Monday. Yeah, man, you know it. And that is Apollo getting on the score sheet, going quicker. Anybody on a lap at the moment? There's an AlphaTauri about to go across the line. And that is 9 tenths quicker, and that puts LFC into P3 with a 126.650. The track is improving. The rain has stopped for now. But will there be enough time in the session for people to start thinking about the soft tyres? Let's see if... Ooh, hello. Lewis has thought about putting them on and is out there at the moment. Will the rest of the grid follow suit? Be very interesting to see. Ash getting on the soft tyres as well. In the pits, Iron and Ash must be looking on to see how Lewis does. But imagine this is just his first lap. But that's Andreas sticking it on the front with a 125.9. Gets provisional pole for now. Ooh, very close on the margin there. Let's see what his first sector's like. So the best first sector out there really at the moment. Can he keep it just about somehow? And he's 1.5 seconds quickest at the moment. And that is 8 tenths faster than anybody else's first sector time at the moment. DRS has been enabled as well. This will be huge for Lewis to get a better time on the board. Looks like he didn't last the first challenge. Mate, Spinny, go for it, man. Although you won't be last, brother. Reese is at the back. DRS is open. And Lewis sets a 122.8. Puts himself at the top of the group at the moment. You'll see the rest of the grid all following suit out there. Iron Lan, the next guy to be out there on the softs. More like a second to last challenge. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, I know he's only on his out lap, but he just wants to get a feel for the track. All eyes now on Iron. Ash and Raven both out onto the track. As we go on board now with Iron Land for his hot lap. Here we go, DRS open now. He should set a faster lap time than Lewis, as he has that extra bit of DRS going down this first straight. And Lewis sets a 121.0. That's the difference, having that extra bit of DRS down the first straight. But Ironland's here in the purple sector 1, carrying all that speed and momentum now. Sort of straight line speed are we looking at here? A 196 on the speed trap there. Purple sector 2. Ironland is flying on this lap right now. Now into the tough built up chicane. Takes it very cleanly. Little let off there. Feeding the car around. Now the penultimate corner, coming up to the last corner now. Can he keep it clean? Yeah, he can. Nice and tidy exit. And he beams across the line with a 119.6 and puts himself provisional pole for now. We've got Kai coming up next, who is on his out lap, so we'll come back to him. Andreas here didn't validate his last lap. Starts his new lap. LFC, no, it's Lewis we want to be on board with. He has now appeared. As we move to, okay, Apollo. Let's see what happened there with Apollo. Maybe he's just retired on his own back. But here we go. Raven down the main straight here. Sets a 118.9. Goes provisional pole. His teammate Ash will be next up across the line. Must have invalidated. He's not gone in quicker. LFC. Did he invalidate or has he improved? Well, he's up to P5 now anyway. Hawak improves by a second but can only go as far as P8. Oh wow, when did... Mate, we need to keep an eye on stuff here because Kai has put himself second now on the front row of the grid. And he's improving in his sector 1 time with minimal ERS here. Wow, look at the difference between Kai and Ireland's time. 3,000th of a second. Is this Raven again? About to come across the line. Doesn't go any quicker. And that's Lewis pushing Apollo, LFC. Pushing Lewis down and improving his time. And Hawak there as well. Oh my. Manages to put his car into the 120 section now. Get back on board with Kai, who's coming around the final corner here. Is 2/10 down on his time. Crosses the line. And that is provisional front row for Kai. Unless Andreas has anything to say about it, who is looking to be a lot slower this lap. As we move to Iron Lamb, who is 2/10 up on his time, almost 3/10. Can he have a say? You would imagine with how his lap time is, he should be able to top Kai here. And he does, and he puts himself onto the front row. We've got Raven now, is up by 0.5. Coming around the final corner. Can he improve his time even further? Doesn't need to, but it is all about bragging rights, and he just lets off at the last second there. They didn't need to improve. Well, and there we go. That is your quali results. Raven P1, Ironland P2, Kai P3, Andreas P4, LFC P5, Hawak P6, Lewis P7, Apollo P8, Ash P9, Spoonie P10, and Reese P11. The bottom 4 drivers not setting a time on the softs, interestingly enough. Haas is rigged. Why is it rigged? Let's keep an eye on this now so we can have a look at the results as it happens. Well, the entire strategy as it happens. What the frick? P6 was Hawk. Lowest is P7, Apollo P8. P9 is Ayamash, Rooney P10, and Reese P11. There we go. So Raven with the fastest time in qualifying with a 1:18.955. And as we're just waiting on this at the moment, I think I will show you what we're dealing with right now. Give you guys something to look at whilst we wait for the session to begin. So, this is what we're dealing with right now. So we've got the calendar down here. And the main race will begin soon enough. But that is your live results for qualification. And as we go on to the live timing board, this was how it all shaped up a second ago. Yeah, mixed bag. Nice amount of information for us to look at as well, which is pretty good. Awooga. Yeah, it did bug out. I've had to just change all of that a second ago. So if we go on to here now, I had to fix it in here. But yeah, for some reason it picked other people's names for some weird reason. Yeah, I wasn't. I was down by 4 times. Oh wow. Okay. Well, we'll keep this on the other monitor anyway and see if it does update accordingly as we go ahead. But if we render results, see how this outputs. So there we have it. That's actually pretty sick, you know, how it comes out so quick. I don't know why it's not showing us LFC's sector times. Not too sure on that. But that is our qualification. Just for the into the chat, just so we know. Keep that live timing. How are we looking now? Well, we are away for the formation lap. Let's get ourselves over to the live timing. Hoping it's fixed itself. It's looking like it's fixed itself. Right. Raven beaming away from the rest of the grid. Getting some heat into those tyres. As we get all our information up, let's just remind ourselves of tyre strategy. Raven on the hards, Ironland, Kai and Andreas all on mediums, LFC on hards, Hawak, Lewis, Apollo mediums, and Ash, Spoonie and Reese on the hards as well. Turn the microphone down so it's not so loud and I'm not shouting down the headset. Woo. Reese doing some ballerina acrobatics. And here we go. Raven disqualified himself by not running up. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Raven gets away quick. Oh my god, look at the launch from LFC now. Oh my god. Ironland gets ahead of Raven and Kai going a little bit too deep. And LFC gets ahead. Makes way many gains, but Kai finding himself right at the back there by going deep and having to run off. But LFC and Lewis taking major advantage of that. Getting themselves right up there. My word, but what a start from Ironland. Getting ahead of Raven up the inside, going into turn 1, and manages to make it stick. And his guns blazing, pulling away from Raven. My god, what a start. Kai did manage to get ahead of Spoonie there, so I wonder if Spoonie and Kai had a nice little moment of battling side by side. Andreas having a little look at Ashley here. Maybe just waiting there. Takes a little curb, more than expected maybe. But Ironland building up a nice little gap here. To Raven, 1.4 second gap. Now let's just have a look at the position changes on lap 1. Raven down 1, Ironland up 1, LFC up 2, Lewis up 3, Ash up 4. Wow, is the biggest gainer at the moment. Andreas down 2, Apollo up 1, Hawak down 2, Reese up 2, and Kai down 7, obviously the biggest loser. And Spoonie down 1. We all know Australia is a tyre killer. And it's all going to be down to who can manage their tyres the best. Do you try and put in a good stint early on, try and create yourself a gap from the guys behind? Or do you just try and manage them and hope that the safety car window brings you the safety car and you can pit nice and early? Get yourself onto a newer tyre. Ironland setting the fastest lap of the race on lap 3 with a 1:22.5. Now, can Lewis here have a little look at his teammate here? He's having a little look down the inside, thinks twice, and tucks in behind his teammate. As we look behind us now, we've got a nice little train forming here. That will be a major DRS train for the next few laps if they can all keep together. And Andreas getting right off the back of Ashley here. not wanting to give them enough space, but Lewis sending it around the outside of LFC. I don't know if that was a little bit of team orders, as Lewis seems to be the quicker car at the moment and is on the quicker tyre, so that would be the smartest thing to do at the moment. Let the teammate go. He's on the better tyre. Oh my god, but Andreas sending it down the inside. Has contact there with LFC. Not too sure if the gap was there for him. Not too sure if that's going to be an incident that he wants to put in at the end of the race, but we'll stay impartial for now, as we didn't fully see it. The gap might have been there to begin with, but well, who knows? We'll wait till the end of the race to have a look. But Ashley now, DRS open. LFC has DRS open, but Ashley using a lot of ERS here to get down the inside here. Tries to put the front wing in. LFC leaving enough space, but keeps ahead of Ash. It's so easy to take too much curb on the exit there, as that curb can be very unforgiving. It's so hard to keep an eye on any driver here because they're all so close. But Ashley looking right on the back of LFC, putting so much pressure on the AlphaTauri driver. The RS open again, ERS on as well. But Apollo making Ash worry a little bit, just letting him know that he's there. And Kai, the first driver on the grid. Oh! Big incident here. Not too sure what's just happened there with Kai and Hawak, but we just about caught Kai flying right off track. He loses a bit of an end plate there on his front wing and will box. Wow, we'll have to see that in the incident reports at the end, if anything gets put in. I'd imagine it would, but Kai decides to retire in the pits. And he feels that is his race done. It's very unfortunate to see that happen so early on. All it takes is one safety car to come out, and that is you back into the race. Maybe he does further damage to the car that we don't know about. But oh my word, here we go. Apollo right on the back of Ashley now. Can he have a little look here? Down the inside, he's there. Yes, he is. He's late on the brakes. Gets down the inside of Ash there. There's a wall bang in there. But can he make it stick? Yes, he can. Another wall bang again. Space shown by the two drivers, and there's a bit of a tap there by Ash. Just get caught there, but Ash flies straight into the pits. After that collision, must have got a bit of wing damage there. No positions lost or gained for Apollo. No positions lost by Apollo. He does keep his place ahead of Ash, and Ash has retired himself as well. I don't think it looked that bad, to be honest. I don't know if he got any other damage, but it didn't look all that bad. Interesting. Reese stays out anyway, comes out and carries on racing. Game didn't change my win, CBA. Oh, that's unfortunate. Like I was saying earlier, all it takes is just one incident for a safety car to come out, and then bang, you're straight back into it. It didn't look too bad in the moment, to be honest. So I'm just going to go to sleep. Yeah, not a problem. But yeah, it didn't look too bad in the moment. Seeing him come down inside, maybe a little bit more room could have been given on the exit, but it was tough and it would have been close. But I would imagine it did look all fair and square in real time. And that is Iron Lan pulling away from Raven, who's just under a 3-second buffer now to P2. Gaps are starting to form and get a little bit spread out here. And we've got Reese back in the pits. What was that for? They put him on the wrong tyre? Reese is back onto the mediums. Maybe they didn't change his front wing? Interesting. Hawak setting purple sector 1. Was that a purple sector 2? Yeah, it's purple sector 2, my apologies. Can he come on now and set the fastest lap of the race and bring some energy to this race and make Andreas think? No, he can't. He does lose out a little bit of time on the final corner there. All these guys got to do now is just think about finishing the race and they will be in the points. Lewis exceeds track limits and does get a penalty. And we'll start thinking about trying to maximise his gap to his teammate behind. He needs to try and create a 3-second buffer. It was a very close race, Ash. It was very early to tell anything could have happened in that. But if you feel you have the pace there as well, it's hard to say, but it is unfortunate. Apollo did have a little look down the inside. Was he pushed off? Not sure there. We'll stay impartial, but it was a aggressive move. And the LFC did crumble and go wide into the gravel. But is not giving up so easy. He still does have DRS to come at him here. The charge to gain P4 back again is on for LFC. And Apollo in an AlphaTauri sandwich right now. If LFC can keep with him here, the tyre life will come back to him and he should start gaining back on Apollo. He does need to be mindful of the guys behind him with Spoonie, Andreas and Howard. All so close behind. All in this little DRS train, and the light force LFC is blinking. They can smell the danger. And oh my word, is that Howard? Is he going to send it up the inside? No, he doesn't. He uses the runoff area. LFC getting a 3-second time penalty as well. The two AlphaTauri drivers both having on 3-second time penalties. And that is Spoonie closing the gap. The pressure is real on LFC right now. We must see all of these drivers in his mirror and think, oh my word. There's a bit of a ghosting moment there for Apollo. He's back. Andreas very close, but Spoonie does have that straight line speed and shoots a little bit deep there, and that allows Andreas to catch up slightly here. It's great racing here from P5 down to P8, all very close to each other. Apollo and Lewis aren't too far away, but Raven and Iron Lan pulling way ahead of these guys. Excuse me. Oh. But Raven keeping within that 3 second, well, that below that 3 second buffer. And he's doing very well on those hard tyres to keep with Ironman, whose mediums might be slowly coming to the end of their life. It will be affected and it will become a lot tougher. And we've got a yellow flag with Spoonie spinning round and Andreas. An incident between the two drivers there. Not ideal. Andreas lets him go through. Maybe makes you think it was Andreas at fault for that incident. But lets Spoonie go through. Right thing to do there if that was the case. Good sportsmanship. As we move on now, and the DRS train is pretty much over. With the gap there over 2.2 seconds. So LFC can now start breathing a little bit easier. However, Apollo still on the hunt for Lewis. Still within DRS here. Can he carry on gaining on Lewis? And close that gap. Lewis having so much more ERS here. We'll be making Apollo think about his strategy and how he's going to try and overtake. Who has the straight line speed down the main straight here? Well, who has the highest straight line speed, should I say? This graphic is correct. This is telling me that Andreas has front wing damage. Are they waiting for him for a new front wing? Yes, they are. Ironman still leading with a 2.5 second gap now, where Raven looks to have closed the gap a little bit here by a few tenths, and can now set eyes on Reese, the back marker now, all the way up in the distance, going around turn 1 now, who has had to pit twice in a row, perhaps for a wing damage. And that is Lewis again gaining another time penalty and is pitting for the hard tyres. The first out of the medium runners to box there. Now, is the undercut going to prove strong here, or is it the overcut that will be stronger? Let's find out in the next few laps. Howak not really making any gains on LFC here, still within a 2.5 second buffer to LFC, but LFC isn't closing their gap to Apollo. I can't remember what the gap was. I think it might be Lewis again with another penalty. I don't know how he's raking up these exceeding track limits, but he does need to be cautious here. And that is Ironman in the box now. Raven obviously staying goal because he's on the hard tyre. Ironman's tyres were on 55% before he boxed. And that is Apollo speeding into the pit lane and gets himself a 5 second penalty. That's going to be mega to the guys behind him and is a little bit... Oh, okay, must have been just a bit of desync there. Thank you, EA, for the crappy service you give us. And Lewis does make it out ahead of Hawak, but has lost out to Apollo. The undercut not working there for Lewis. Lewis needed that undercut to protect himself from Apollo, but it has not worked here. And he does run wide again, but hopefully he can try and make a dent on this gap to Apollo, whilst he's trying to get his tires up to temperature. But you would imagine that it's just too much of a large gap now for Lewis to do anything, and that gap is increasing. You do have to think that it was a good try, unless there was an error on Lewis's part on his first lap out from the pits, then fair enough, but the undercut not looking that strong there. We do have a yellow flag with Reese spinning round. Do we have any front wing damage here? It's hard to tell while he's ghosted. Yes, he has no front wing. No front wing there, so he must have took too much curb on the on that exit just before the end of sector 1 and just hit the barrier. Tough position because Ironland, who was net P1, is not too far behind him here. And he could be forced to move aside on the blue flag conditions. But he will have to get himself into the pits and get a new front wing on. Will he put on the hard tyre to go to the end? Keeps within the speed limit. Nicely done. But fair play for Reese for continuing on in the race. It would be so easy now to say, you know what, I'm going to throw in the towel, I'm lapped. If a safety car does come out, I'm not going to be able to unlap myself. So he's pretty much just accepting last space here, but still, even last place is given guaranteed points. You take them. Just take this opportunity to improve the racecraft and get a feel, because I know he is recently new to steering wheel. So just go out there and enjoy yourself. Maybe try and take fastest lap away at the end. Would maybe be the ideal situation. Oh, no, I've spoke too soon. Reese is out of the session, and that is a full safety car. Safety car has been deployed, and now this puts a spanner in the works for Raven, who tries to get ahead of the safety car. But we'll have to wait for the... Oh, no. Aaron, what have you done? What have you done? He tried to get ahead so he wouldn't have to stay behind the safety car and he could try and get a free pit stop. But no, muchacho. That is ignoring yellow flags. And that finds him with being disqualified from the race. To be honest, it was so close, but because it was so close on pit exit, that is probably why he has suffered the way he has. Oh, that's so unfortunate. But he had to go for it. The guys behind him would have caught up. and he would have tumbled down in the pecking order. Even so, I think he should have just accepted it. That's so unfortunate, Aaron, mate. I don't blame you for even trying it, but at the same time, like, you had the pace all throughout the race. Like, you could have made yourself back up through the order. It's so unfortunate. But now this is pretty much Ironland's race to lose now. He's shown it, he's had the pace. Yeah, it was still within the pit lane, but it's because it was yellow flags and you were still going full pelt. So like, maybe you exceeded your delta, and it's just like, no. We're not having that one. But this will shake things up as Ironland is on the hards. Let's just remind ourselves of the tyre situation. Ironland on 3-lap old hards, LFC on mediums, and Spoonie, Polo, Lewis and Andreas all on fresh mediums. Hawak on the same amount length hards as Iron. Alright. But you're still in the negative though, aren't it? When you overtook the safety car. I wonder if that would have had anything to do with it. Now, as I... oh shit, that is the wrong window. Now, as we're under safety car conditions, I will bring up the graphic for the race so far. So, as it's showing, Ironland is on the hards. And it's at 10% wear. Oh right, it even tells us how much wear is on each tyre. So Ironland currently 9% on the front left and front right, and 11 on the back. Was that safety car coming in? Safety car is coming in, by the looks of it. Let's just quickly hurry up through this. Andrea is only pitted, well, he's on 1-lap old mediums and he's on 6%, which is interesting. So, interesting who is on the better tyre. It'll be hard to say, but you would imagine the hards will be the better tyre come lap 25. So move that to one side as we are about to go back on board for the race resume. Oh, and that is a tap from LFC on Ironland right on the final corner there, and that is heartbreak for the Ferrari driver. He would have had that so nice for the rest of this race. But LFC gives him a tap, and that has just sent him flying. No in-game penalty given either, which is very strange because they are pretty hot on it if you do make contact under a safety car. It looked like he was constantly moving, mate. He just slowed down. He wasn't going and then stopped. He was continuously moving, but he did get a love tap there from LFC, who maybe wanted to get on the outside, but who knows, hard to say. But we've got Lewis all over the back of Andreas here. Hawak looking to try and get involved in this freeway battle here. That is Spoonie setting the fastest sector 3 there. Gaps have started to form over a second here and there, but the closest battle that we have on our hands at the moment is Apollo on Spoonie. Reese leaving the session. It's very unfortunate, mate, I must admit. Very unfortunate. Will Apollo be able to get up into P2 and put some pressure on Spoonie here and force a mistake? But we do have to remember Apollo is on a 3-second time penalty and has just set the fastest lap of the race with a 122.4. Spoonie will have that in mind and think, shit, I need to get a move on if I want to try and see out this race, but he's got to try and stay ahead as long as possible to ensure that Apollo doesn't get ahead and pull away from him. How is online getting on here is 10 seconds behind Tawak, and it is gaining, unfortunately, losing time, unfortunately. It is a hard tire to press hard in, as it does take a few laps to get back up to temperature again. If we just remind ourselves of penalties, Lewis is on 9 seconds of penalties here. So if Ireland can take at least 4 seconds off, we might be able to get ahead of Lewis at the end, but we'll have to see how that pans out. Apollo setting another fastest lap of a 122.2. The guys ahead of him have set a 122.4. Only 100th split in their times. So they're both similar, setting similar times here. But this has brought them all close together now, and Spoonie in with DRS range now on LFC, and LFC will be starting to feel the pressure. But who will lose their nerve first? Who will blink? Will it be MSC Apollo? Will it be Spoonie? Will it be LFC? This is a three-way fight for the race win. Apollo, Spoonie just needs to keep it clean, and he should see this race victory. He's just got to keep it as it is. Keep it smart throughout the remaining laps. Just stick to the back of whoever's in front of him if he is following, and just keep that DRS. Save the ERS as well, as that will be key for the last few laps. As he does have the straight line speed there to defend. And what is the situation looking like for LFC? It's not ideal for him actually. He's on 30% ERS. Both Apollo and Spoonie having higher due to being able to use the DRS advantage. But it all is about consistency and who can make the fewest mistakes. Apollo in that slipstream and using his ERS now. This will have to force Spoonie to start using his as well to try and defend from Apollo, who is maybe having a little look up the inside but stays behind and carries on following boys ahead. DRS activated, and it will help Spoonie defend here. But Apollo having a look up the inside. That is a little bit of VRS that neither driver wanted to use. But it is like a game of chess, figuring out your opponent's next move. And both drivers will be thinking to themselves, how much ERS does the other guy have? It will be interesting as we're seeing then Spoonie pulling away and does have the straight line speed. But Apollo gets another 3-second time penalty, and that will put even more relief on Spoonie's mind. And we've got a yellow flag, and that is Lewis spinning round with a damaged front wing. And Ironland has a lifeline to get back and claw another few points in this race. And Lewis just needs to go and get a new front wing and see out to the end of this race. But Spoonie comes across a little bit too late there, but Apollo manages to get ahead there and is now trying to do damage limitation by trying to get ahead of LFC now to reduce the deficit with his penalties. He needs to start thinking about pulling a gap from Andreas and Hawak if he has any chance of taking P4. P5, sorry. No, P4, I was right. I'm questioning myself. Spoonie will be gutted with that. He just needs to stick within 3 seconds of LFC and he will be guaranteed race win. Lewis into the pits now and is setting, well, he will be looking to go for fastest lap on the soft tyres. Can he bring the fastest lap time back to AlphaTauri? As we got Andreas now potentially looking and eyeing a move on Spoonie here. And Spoonie has a lot more ERS in the tank to play with, and is still within DRS and ERS of Apollo, who you can see both drivers ahead of him struggling for ERS, and he's charging that battery. And Apollo putting the pressure on LFC here. Are the mistakes creeping in? These drivers just have to keep it clean, get it to the end. Apollo is gaining here with the DRS advantage and has a much better exit than LFC. LFC has a little bit more ERS to play with, but you can see the red light blinking. Apollo, will he have a look down the inside? No, he won't. He tucks in behind LFC and follows on for a little bit longer. You do have to start thinking to yourself, will Apollo accept where he is on track now? Or will he try and find an opening? Or maybe push for it. He does like sending it down the inside of the next DRS straight, but he will see that red light blinking and he is in that slipstream, getting closer and closer. But so is Andreas to Spoonie. This race is anyone's at the moment, but Andreas just needs to stick with Spoonie here. Maybe put the pressure on as LFC is going across down to the inside to defend and take the inside line, and they are podging and they're off. Contact between Apollo and LFC. Was that too hard defending from the AlphaTauri driver? We will have to try and see that from another person's point of view, but that is very unfortunate. Both drivers going very aggressive on the offensive and defensive there. Neither driver will be happy with that, but Apollo and Hawak both into the pits to fit the soft tyre. And this might just give Ironland a chance. Maybe he should have bid for some fresh softs. This race has had it all. And Lewis has had a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. What are you doing, son? The guys are in no hurry at the moment. But maybe the safety car will come in this lap. Actually, he will. He's got to get a wiggle on here because this safety car will come in at the end of this lap. As we've seen in Division 3 yesterday, if it's 2 racing laps to go, it will come in. On the first lap, it comes out like this, and yeah, here we go. Safety car in this lap. And we will have 2 racing laps. And this is the situation that we're in now. Andrea's medium tyres are on 45% worn. Ironland's hards are on 36. You would imagine that Spoonies will be in the same boat. We have Apollo, Howak and Lewis all on the soft tyre. Lewis may be too far back here to make any sort of impact, which is unfortunate as we get Spoonie coming around the final corner. Everyone waiting patiently, and he's all gone. And the guys pull away, trying to get some heat down the main straight. Oh, and Andreas has a little bit of a moment there, and he catches Ironland off guard, and Apollo sends it around the outside on Ironland there, and he catches him just on the inside there, and Ironland takes a bit of a spin. This race is just not going his way in the second half. As he is taking taps from other drivers, and it's just not going his way right now. But we digress, and we watch on with the battle with Apollo and Andreas. Can Apollo make the move and pull out a big enough gap to the guys behind him? As we put the penalties on now, because that will be the one thing to watch. Can Apollo take fastest lap from this race? Sends it down the inside on Andreas. Can he make it stick? Not quite. Has another look at him here, and Andreas takes a bit of a compromised exit there on the curb and loses out to Apollo going down the main straight. Apollo has the inside line, and Andreas yields going into turn 1. Has Howak now all over the back of his car. And Howak is just absolutely sent it there, and it was maybe the wrong call as he cuts the corner a bit there and gets a 3-second time penalty. A little bit reckless there, maybe a little bit flustered, but Andreas as well now gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Oh my word. Ironland, keep it clean, son, and you can get yourself a podium. Keep it clean, put everything you've got into this now, and you could find yourself on the podium, son. Get going, here we go. Keep it clean. Howak now all over the back of Andreas. Who can do it now? The battle for 4th between these two drivers. Andreas goes a little bit wide here, but Howak coming up now behind Andreas. But is ARS enough for Howak? No, it's not. Andreas does enough to stay ahead. My word, what an end to the race. What an end. We started with 11 drivers and we finished with 5 or 6. Is it 6? And we finished with 6. Aaron displaying all kinds of frustration there with himself. But Spoonie, great race, my guy, with the race win there. Spoonie taking P1, Ironland P2, Apollo P3, Andreas P4, Howard P5, Lewis P6, LFC P7 in the did not finish category, Aaron P8, Reese P9, Ash P10 and Kai P11 is how it all finished out there right now, as we'll go and get an interview with Apollo and get his thoughts on the race. And we're live with Apollo.
Hello.
Post-race interview. How was that for you out there today in round 1?
Absolute carnage, mate.
Carnage would be
I couldn't
the understatement.
stop getting in incidents. It was yeah.
It was
No.
It was
Not the
very
greatest.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
There was
I don't think any of them were my fault.
It was a controversial one with LFC. The first one with Ash, I thought in the moment was
Ash.
fair.
Yeah. I was ahead of the apex of Ash. I said it on stream afterwards. It was tight for me pushing him out there. I'll be honest, it wasn't intentional. I just got a bucket load of understicks and Williams, but I was ahead at the apex. But with LFC, I think I might get a post-race pen for that, if I'm truly honest. I was alongside at the apex. It's just from
The
what
exit.
I felt, my front wheels were there and alongside at the apex, which is what you need. But
Yeah,
I'm just gonna watch through my stream and see if it
did
was
catch a little
okay.
bit of it, but it would just be a case of rewatching it again just to see how it broke down. But it will be on stream afterwards on the HRA
Thing is,
account.
my phone's broken as well, so I can't actually submit any clips. So I might need someone to. I'll just give someone some timestamps and ask them to just pop them in.
That's fine.
I'm just trying to find
Quick question: who was the driver of the day at the end then?
Ironland.
Was it Ironman?
Yeah, he would have won that if he didn't get tagged on the safety car restart.
Oh,
which
is this your Iron driver of the day, or was that the
My-
games driver of the day?
Games driver of the day, I think, was Spoonie, I want to say, or Horch or something. But for me, I know he would have won that if I hadn't
Spoonie
given
would
him
have got it, I think.
so little space. Yeah, thing is, he got spun round on the safety car restart.
Yeah, I do want to see what
LFC
happened
and
there
then,
because it did get caught.
LFC just tagged him, I think.
Because I was too busy looking at some graphics, like. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the incidents are looked at by the stewards and what the finishing order will be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of shuffling and jumbling.
Yeah.
But I do want to say LFC over defended so hard against me. If we worked together, we could have just gapped, and his 3 second would have become irrelevant. But it's what it is.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. Aaron gutted as well. Very unfortunate for him.
He got disqualified. How did that happen?
He tried to beat the safety car out of the pits.
Oh,
Like, it was just neck and neck at the pit exit. Because I think he would have been screwed if he didn't get ahead. So he tried to get ahead of the safety car, and as soon as he overtook it, it disqualified him.
yeah, it's just dumb. Alright, I've got the incident with LFC on my screen. Let's see. I'll be 100% honest.
As
No,
always.
I was alongside. Yeah, I was alongside.
So you feel you were innocent
my
in that?
front wheels were alongside front wheels at the apex, which is all you need on the outside.
Fair enough. We'll see.
We'll see. His POV will see it better, but well, actually, from a wheel-to-wheel standpoint, it's wheel-to-wheel. But if you're
Yeah.
looking from the apex, he's just ahead. Oh, I don't know. That's close. That is very close.
It'll be a tough one for the stewards to dissect and
Oh, they're free
sort out.
to use my POV.
It'll be good to know. But I'll quickly end the stream here. Thank you again, guys, for stopping in. Be sure to check the stream out again if you do need to get some clips. Hopefully I was on your POV if you do need a clip. And yeah, we'll catch you all in the next one. Have a good evening, guys.
Yeah, I was
Good night.
a little bit